What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and we are here to talk about the movie that I was so anxious to talk about, Spider-Man 3. Man, when I went to go see this movie, Spider-Man 1 impressed me a lot and it was great. Spider-Man 2 was amazing. So I went into Spider-Man 3 with open eyes and hope that this movie was going to be truly awesome, especially because of the fact that there was rumors going around that Venom was in this movie. Venom, the coolest villain ever in the Spider-Man universe. Yeah, you can't screw him up, could you? You can. You can't do it. You've done such a good job, right? You've done such a good job. You're not going to screw it up. They did. They did. Now, before we get to all the bad, I want to at least talk about some of the good in this movie. And that is, the special effects in this movie were still pretty good. There were still a lot of times during like the Peter and Harry fights when he was on his glider and they were fighting in the city where it did look like a video game. And there was also every time Sandman, I think, came around, I did feel like I was looking at a video game boss. Granted, that was the point because he is Sandman, so I would expect that. But still, the special effects were okay. They weren't as good as the previous ones because this one felt more like they had more CGI involved. And I understand why with Sandman, but with how good the special effects were in the first two with the combination of practical and CGI, it was hard to look at this movie and go, man, this is... my god, there's a lot of CGI in this movie. But I understood, because Sandman, everything, I understand that. The performances were still not bad. Peter Parker, played by Tobey Maguire, was great. Still did a good job. We still have, all the actors still did a great job. J.K. Simmons was a standout role in this one. Everyone else was just, you know, they were still good. They were good. And then the score is still good. The score for this movie was still great, done by Danny Elfman, was still fantastic. I was like, good. The music is still on point. Very nice. That's always good to see. And the ending, I have to admit, was very touching. And I actually did go, wow, that as much of a train wreck this movie was, at least this ending made me feel something. At least I sat there and went, that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. Now, let's go to all the bad. And the number one thing on my list is that the most annoying part of this movie was Mary Jane throughout the entire film. She kept sitting there and insisting that Spider-Man didn't spend enough time with her. Spider-Man, you're dating a superhero. You're dating a superhero, so you're complaining that he didn't have time for you. I'm sorry, he has to save the city. He has to save some innocent people from muggers. He has a lot of things to do. I'm sorry he could not make it to every single dinner reservation that you guys have or every single one of your showings. But I would imagine the life of an innocent person is more important than that. But the entire movie, she annoyed me. She was an annoying character. All she did was annoy. And then she goes from Peter, she starts getting angry at him, so she decides, oh, I'm just gonna go with Harry. Oh yeah, oh my god. I just wanted her to get off screen every time. I was like, Mary, go away. Go away. The entire time. It was, Mary Jane Watson in this movie. Next, let's get to the next thing. Next thing on my list, the story of this movie. The story of this movie was pretty much a mess. They were trying to juggle so many things. They were trying to juggle the story that was going on with Harry. They were trying to juggle the story that they had going on with Sandman, with his daughter being sick and he has to get money and steal money to save her life. And on top of that, they decided to sit there and say, guess what? To connect everything, we're going to say that Sandman killed Uncle Ben instead of that other guy from the first movie. Why? Why? His story was already compelling enough. It was already compelling enough that his daughter was dying and he had to steal money to save her. You had it. Why did you sit there and go, you know what? Let's change a very pivotal moment in Peter's life and let's say the Sandman did it. God, this movie, oh dear God, why? And also, they were also trying to juggle, obviously, the Spider-Man and the Peter Parker and Mary Jane storyline where they're trying to make the relationship work. There was just so much brewing in this pot. The pot was getting overfilled with too much. They were doing so much. It was too hard to do. Nothing made sense. And then on top of that, they had the symbiote come in, and then they had to do the symbiote storyline. The Venom symbiote had to be done quickly too. Instead of just making a movie for the symbiote storyline, they decided to cram all this into this movie. And what you ended up getting was just a movie with so much plot thrown at you and so many different twists and turns that you just sit there and just go, I don't care. I don't care about all these different stories. It was too much. Too much for one movie, guys. We already know what happens. Don't make this mistake again. And guess what? Even though I kind of still enjoy this movie, yeah, I will admit they did that mistake again. God. And then speaking of the Venom symbiote, oh man, we all remember that the Venom symbiote turns him just basically into a... It feeds off anger and your emotions and gets you really like strong and makes you more aggressive. Yeah, we all remember that. I didn't remember that it turned people into emo kids. Because that's what it did to Peter Parker in this movie. Why? Why did he want to sit there and go, oh man, I have this symbiote on me. You know what? Gonna put the Hot Topic hair in my face. Gonna put the hair in my face and be all like, oh, no one understands me. I'm so emo now. Why? Why did you go this route? You could have just made him more aggressive when he fights a villain. You could have made him want to almost kill. Granted, you did do that in one scene, and thank you. But why did you have to add this? Why did you have a scene where Peter Parker walks outside, sees two pretty girls, starts dancing? Why did you do that? Made no sense. That was so dumb. It was cringeworthy. You just wanted to turn this movie off at that point. The fact that Peter Parker is sitting there in a really all black suit because he's emo, he has his hair in front of him, and he's dancing to impress some women. Why did the symbiote do that to him? Why did you choose this? Go on. Before I keep rambling. Then, let's also talk about the fact that when he finally gets the symbiote off him, the symbiote goes on to Eddie Brock. Yep, did they choose someone really cool and intimidating that could play Eddie Brock, that could really be just a mass of, you know, some muscle like he was in the animated series and in the comic book? No, 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 no. We chose the guy from That 70s Show. Yeah. Yep, that's who our Venom is. Yeah, at least you guys got the bell tower scene right. I'll at least give them that. They did that scene good. I was like, oh, thank God they did that. Thank God you people did that. But then, to make things even better, Venom was only in this movie for about 20 minutes. You take the best villain in Spider-Man history and you sit there, sorry, you sit there and you put him in for 20 minutes. That's it. That's it. And then a lot of the times, instead of keeping his face there, you always make his face, I gotta keep looking at the guy from That 70s Show the entire time. I'm like, I don't want to see him. I want to see Venom. I want to see Venom. He didn't even, in my opinion, he didn't even look as intimidating as the real Venom. They didn't make him as big. They didn't make him as like, just buff and everything. They just made, he just looked like a slightly more built Spider-Man in the black suit. When I was hoping for the real Venom, you know, big guy, this is intimidating. This guy, when he walked up to you, would have been like, But instead, you chose the guy from the That 70s Show. That's about as intimidating as a squirrel that's probably sitting outside my house. I'm not scared of this man. I feel like a look at him, blow wind towards him, and he might say, ouch. Why did you choose him? God. I think doing this review is giving me an aneurysm. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Alright, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Another big thing that really made me angry. Gwen Stacy is in this movie. Gwen Stacy. She's one of my favorite female characters in the Spider-Man universe. That was his greatest love interest, and I loved her. The way they did her character in the comic was amazing. The moment on the bridge where he goes to save her and pulls and he kills her was absolutely amazing. It was just a perfectly written issue of Spider-Man. And then you turn Gwen Stacy into a side chick. You turn Gwen Stacy into a side chick. Why? Why? She's one of the coolest characters ever. If you're gonna not have her in the first movie, just skip over her and don't mention her. I would've been fine with that. I would've been, okay, you guys didn't want to do that route. Perhaps it was too dark to do that storyline. Okay, I understand. But instead, you introduce her later on when he's with Mary Jane. You make him kiss her when they're giving him the key to the city, which is something that I don't think that, you know, with the tone of the way the movies were going, Spider-Man was a very good role model. And the fact that he was just in there kissing another girl, granted, no one knows that he's with somebody, I just felt like that was out of place in this movie universe when he kissed her. I was like, why? Why did you make him do that? But besides that, the use of her was so bad. You could have utilized her in the beginning. If you're not gonna have her right from the get-go being his first girlfriend and having that tragic moment happen to him, just don't mention her. Instead, you ruin her character by making her a side chick to make Mary Jane, the annoying one of this movie, jealous? Why? I understand how annoying Mary Jane was in this movie, but don't bring Gwen into this. Don't bring Gwen Stacy into this movie. God, this movie was already garbage. You're gonna toss her in the garbage too? Why? Jesus. And then we have that terrible scene with him and her and Mary Jane all in that little club or whatever, the bar, and then he starts dancing. I was like, what am I watching? Am I watching Grease Lightnings meet Spider-Man? I didn't sign up for this. Or Emo Man Dancing meets Spider-Man. That's not what I signed up for. The last two movies had such a great tone and such an amazing way of being filmed, a great story. It was cohesive. You cared. All the characters made sense. In this movie, everything gave me an annoyance. Mary Jane was not good. All she did was sit there and bother the hell out of him and make Spider-Man go through all this shit because of the fact that he's Spider-Man. He doesn't spend enough time with her. And then Venom is only here for 20 minutes, played by Gopher Boy from That 70s Show. And then we have just Sandman apparently killed Uncle Ben. Guys, this movie is bad. This movie is very bad. There were only very few positives about this movie. Performances were, other than Mary Jane and stuff like that, the performances were not terrible. I sat there and was like, okay, they're at least doing their part. And the score is good, and the ending was touching. But other than that, this movie was bad. This was shameful. The fact that this was made by the same director that did the first two movies that were awesome, that were out of this world, he made this movie. At the end of the day, Spider-Man 3 gets a D for only having such small amount of pros, so I felt bad for it, so I gave it a D. At least there's a few pros to this movie. Other than that, no. This movie can't... My God, Spider-Man 3. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that review. I'm sorry if I rambled on a lot about this movie, but that's the way I feel about this film, as being a huge Spider-Man fan that I am. Coming up next on my videos, I'm going to be doing a review for The Amazing Spider-Man starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts on these two movies. And then I hope you guys enjoyed my Fast 8 review, or Fate of the Furious review, and my Battlefront videos about the trailer and the Last Jedi trailer analysis. I hope you guys really enjoyed those videos. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. I'm going to go recover from reviewing such a piece of crap. Wish me luck, guys. See ya.